All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
Good evening. A little later than usually when we do this show, we have the Scottish Open PGA DFS and betting preview for this Monday evening of PGA Tour. So I'm very excited. I mean, back-to-back outright winners. All it took was us getting our social medias hacked, I guess, to break through. And now we're having a positive year, just like that. That's why you have to just stay so patient in terms of, I guess, every sport, but like PGA specifically, outright betting specifically, patience, and we got over the hump. Shout out Chris Goddard, shout out Victor Hovland, shout out Ben Coles. So we made it through. Nonetheless, we are here to talk Scottish Open Renaissance Club. Always a fun time of the year. Always just fun golf. Like, I love waking up at 3:30 in the morning Eastern time to watch some golf and then sweat these final rounds that end at like 11 a.m. So bear with us on the showdown show times this next 2 weeks. I'm not really sure how they're going to work with like my schedule, with my work schedule, but obviously everything will be alerted in the Discord. So stay in tune there, and then we will always get the content delivered to you one way or another. But let's get into it. Let's share the screen. We got the Twitter thread rack because we have our social medias account back. I can go through the Twitter thread. Renaissance Club. We'll say it every single year. Renaissance Club is fine, but being blessed enough to be there the last 2 years, I've gotten to play and just see how many better options we have for links golf than the Renaissance Club. Nonetheless, the weather is basically everything links golf, and it does not look too bad. We'll talk about that in the next slide. Does not look too bad out there. So this could end up playing kind of like how Royal Portrush played last year. Do you remember Portrush, how Scottie Scheffler basically was just like hitting stock wedges into every single hole? He wasn't really playing anything on the ground because it was just not windy. He was able to just hit fairways and hit wedges every single hole. So could end up being a little bit like that this year. But I am leaning into distance approach play more. I messed up the screen share. I'm leaning into distance and approach play more than I probably would in terms of more than I probably would in a normal links or Scottish Open week. I just think with the weather being potentially down, you're going to get some more ball strikers rise to the tops. So take a look at this. These are some average in-tournament lines over the winners over the last few years. You can see how important distance was. That's the stat line, so I'm not going to read them all out. They are right there on the screen. This is what they did on average the last 25 rounds before they won. I think looking at golfers' incoming profile before they win, opposed to an in-tournament stat profile, is way more telling than the in-tournament profile. Nothing too insane, but the distance is very on par with the in-tournament line. So, I mean, think of golfers: Minwoo Lee, Chris Goddard, Rory McIlroy, Bob Mack, even like long hitters play well here because of these open and firmer conditions usually. So putting and distance are two stats I'm really keying in there. This is the really insane stat with the distance stats. So players averaging 300 plus yards off the tee, 16 of 19 gain strokes off the tee. Players averaging under that, only 63 of 137 gain strokes off the tee. So all of the what that is saying is all of the strokes gained in terms of off the tee is coming from the distance. So very similar in 2023 as well. Course rewards power. Warmer weather means more carry, more rollout, easier to access with some shorter irons. Doesn't mean you can spray it everywhere though. So you can easily get boned. Like, think of Bob Mack, that last hole that he ended up winning with that eagle, or what's that, the last hole? That was the 71st hole, I believe, or something like that. The par 5 where he made eagle. got so lucky. But remember the ball before he got that drop because he was standing on a sprinkler head? He was absolutely boned. Course history, I guess, is also important here. Goddard, best result was a missed cut. But outside of that, Bob Mack was a second. Rory was a T4. X was a T10 before he won that. It helps, but it's not mandatory at all. Here are some of the comp courses: Riviera, Quail Hollow, Augusta, Muirfield Village, Sawgrass, and River Highlands. The Travelers comp in season also stands out very, very well. Xander won the Travelers, then won here. Rory finished T7 of the Travelers before winning here. Bob Mack finished T16 before winning here. Honestly, I didn't look what Goddard did, but nonetheless, it makes sense. So here are the golfers that finished in the top 20 at this past Travelers and already have a T10 at the Renaissance Club. Scottie, Colin, Matt Fitz, Wyndham Clark, Corey Connors, Bob Mack, Nikolai. So that's definitely spelled wrong. Nikolai Hodgelegard, Tommy Fleetwood, and Patrick Cantlay. So TLDR, basically everything I went through. Head to the site for more information. Here's the weather for the week, the 1 hour forecast. As you guys can see, there's still wind Tuesday, Wednesday, but once Thursday comes around, once Friday comes around, it kind of calms down. Like this is what we saw at the damn John Deere Classic, guys. We saw the same exact wind forecast, a little cooler than it was in Silvis, Illinois, but 65 degrees, 70 degrees in Scotland is pretty damn nice with only 10 miles an hour wind. That should play fairly easier. Then as the weekend comes around, it gets a little bit dicier, but the first 2 rounds could definitely be easier. Remember what Cam Tringale did a few years back, the greatest round in the history of golf. I believe he shot 61 when everyone was shooting like over par. That's basically just the weather. But the whole field could do what Cam Tringale did that year in this year's field with the weather that we're seeing on Thursday and Friday. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of the weather. Here are some of the winning scores over the last few years. We saw Chris win at 15. I almost said 15 to 1. 15 under, Bob 18 under, Rory 15, X7 in some dicey weather. Then before it became co-sanctioned, Aaron Rye won at 18. Sorry, Minwoo Lee won at 18. Aaron Rye won at 11. So various different score lines win here, and that's definitely very, very, very weather-based. Looking at the DraftKings contest selection, I'm going to go with this $20K, $150 3 max. I know we're not getting that $500 for the 10% at 10th place, but I just love how this contest pays out 32 people and only 148 people are entering. And if you're 3 max entering it, 148 divided by 3 equals 49.3. I think you can beat 49 other people. And I'm telling you guys right now, not everybody's going to max enter this contest. So if you enter in 3 lineups, you're going to have some serious overlay in the field. Even if everybody did max enter this contest, you can beat 49 other people. Combine that with people not max entering this contest, you're going to have some nice overlay, can turn 150 or 450 into 5K. Fairly simple. Cash a tight core, first and a fifth. You'll take that any day of the week. I love this contest for the setup it is. Taking a look at the DraftKings board, we have none other than Scottie Scheffler at the top, 14K, followed by Rory, John Rahm in the field, Matt Fitz, Xander Schauffele, Ludwig, Tommy, CG, Windy, Vic, Bob Mack round out the 9K range. But the first guy I wanted to look at I didn't deep dive too many golfers. I kind of like deep diving them live in front of you to get my initial first reaction. It's the second highest priced golfer. It is Rory McIlroy, a past winner of this event. Rory McIlroy has why when I put this filter on, it's not probably because I have this tab open for a really long time. Nonetheless, we know Rory McIlroy is a past winner of this event, and he's coming in with some nice stats. We know he's going to gain strokes off the tee. It's Rory McIlroy. But the around the green and putter is what I'm looking at. It's not the most consistent thing in the world, but when it spikes, it spikes. Like four at the U.S. Open, 5 at Aronimink, another 5 around the green at Augusta. So I like the spikeability in the short game paired with Rory's driver that he brings to the table. At his price of $2,000 cheaper than Scottie, I love it. I love the ceiling this week, and I really do like Rory to contend heavily. When's the last time he contended? Was it Augusta? Let's look. It was, yeah, I mean, he was there at the PGA Championship, but kind of outside looking in. It was there heading into the weekend at the U.S. Open, but not really there. Played a nice first round at Muirfield, but So yeah, I guess it's Augusta. So I think this is a time where we get Rory back in attention. The next golfer I want to look at is down the board a little bit, and that's $8,700 Siwoo Kim. Siwoo Kim is coming in, ball striking the hell out of it. And if we possibly do get that easier weather, Scottie Scheffler at TPC, sorry, I almost said TPC Portrush. Scottie Scheffler at, yeah, I'm going to say it, TPC Portrush. Then this ball striking is going to play. As you guys know, I'm not saying something you guys don't know. Ball striking isn't always the most telling stat in links golf, in golf across the pond. But when the wind is down at a golf course that is not the most lengthy golf course in the world, and anyone that plays the Renaissance Club or knows anything about the Renaissance Club will say that ball striking could surely get rewarded. I really do think, I mean, this doesn't have anything to do with Siwoo Kim, but I really do think that Shinnecock is a really good comp for this golf course, because let me just pull up this tweet for you guys real quick, because this is what I said about Shinnecock, and it turned out to be fairly true. I think this is how you're going to play, what's it called? The Renaissance Club this week and in most weeks too. Also, this is me announcing that I got my Twitter back. I am so happy because I was just a lost cause without it. This is what I tweeted about Shinnecock. Where is it? Where is it? It's right here. Right here. Okay. This is what the Shinnecock, this is what you get when you combine European vibes off the tee, American vibes into the green, except for this. We're not going to have this. We're not going to have this. Peak Open Championship conditions. If we're getting the Open Championship conditions, if we're getting a bit windier conditions, less windy conditions, if we're getting a bit less windy conditions, we're going to get some Americanized links. Shinnecock was Americanized links, as close as it gets to Americanized links. So I think in one way or another, we're going to get similar leaderboard to what we saw at Shinnecock. Let's pull up the betting board before we get too far. We have Scottie Scheffler at 5-1, Rory McIlroy 920, John Rahm 13, X 18, Ludwig 20. What is your number that you blindly bet Scottie no matter what? I think for me it's 7-1, but I'm definitely still considering going single bullet Scottie this week. I'm not scared to go overexposed at 7x because we've had some 9, 10, 15x cards over the last few weeks. Like Victor, the week we won with Victor Hovland, our card was Victor Hovland and Siwoo. It was like a 15, 16 ROI card. So we have a ton of room to go to the Scottie Scheffler if we want to. But the first guy I want to touch on is Tommy Fleetwood, around 21-1. Tommy Fleetwood is continuously gaining strokes across the board for the most part. I really love what he's doing here. Similar to Rory, off the tee, around the green, putting. Although I'm saying we might get some Americanized conditions where the approach play works, I don't mind like just leaning in on the true links and Renaissance Club driver putter. Are we frozen? Oh, we're good. I don't mind leaning in on the true Renaissance Club driver putter build that just comes to fruition. Are we frozen, guys? Let me know if we're frozen. I feel like I'm lagging. Nonetheless, Tommy Fleetwood, driver, putter, short game, is doing it the right way. And he has that top 20 at the Travelers this year and a top 10 at the Renaissance Club in his career. So I do, in fact, like that. The next golfer I want to touch on is 100-1 Alex Smalley. Now, Alex Smalley is really losing strokes in the approach department, but we know his best skill is approach. His best skill is ball striking, is flushing. Now, I don't know if you remember a few years back, the year that Xander Schauffele won, I believe, Alex Smalley was playing really, really well in this golf tournament. He was like hanging in there, leading the golf tournament, and then he just like Alex Smalley did. So this might not be an outright selection, but Alex Smalley 100-1, you can definitely get a nice top 20, top 10 number on him because of his outright number. So this has been one of his best, most consistent PGA Tour seasons of his career. Combine that with a golf course that he's played well on before. I am definitely down for some Alex Smalley love at this 100-1 number. So definitely taking a look at him in some positional markets. But next thing I want to touch on is the site. You're going to use that code BOOTS that's scrolling across the screen. Join the nation. You can get every single sport. If you just want the golf, we're going to go right here. PGA plus Optimizer. Get that Saber Sim. All sports right here. all access plus optimizer. And then what we really need you to do is fly that flag. Click right here where it says winner circle. You're going to go right here to where it says logo. Just click one of these Ship It Nation logos, put it as your DraftKings FanDuel avatar. And then if you do anything, if you cash anywhere from 1,000 to 1 million, and don't get it twisted, we've had $1 million winners. You get a ton of rewards, whether that's swag, a Rory, t-shirts, hoodies, backpack, and Ship It Nation monthly free Ship It Nation for life. We will hook you up. So get to the site, and then you're not going to be disappointed. We have projections, showdown content, the Stone 2.0, the Slate Station, which gives you all of our cores and literally some of our plays, which we don't advertise much, but we dabble some of our plays in there if you just want to blindly tell, which we would not recommend. We would recommend use all the tools. Use the slate plan, use the optimizer, use the Stone, use the projections, pick a few names from each, build that core. You got to be lucky also. You got to pick the right names the right week. You're not just going to, there's no right or wrong way to do it. So let's do it. Join that nation, code boots. The next thing I want to touch on is a chalky golfer, a pivot, the model, and the one golfer that I am on. A chalky golfer for me this week is going to be a golfer by the name, same name as me. He has the same name as me. And that is, can you guess it? What's the same name as me? I'm going to give you 3 seconds. Think in your head. Who am I talking about right now? Matt Fitzpatrick. I call him bitch-ass Matt Fitz. I mean, I like Matt Fitz. I actually have no problem with Matt Fitz. I kind of regret saying that on the stream because I do like him, but just like, you know, his persona, you get that like bitch-ass Matt Fitz. I mean, you wear Skechers on your shirt, you wear 2K on your shirt. It's just a hilarious, genuinely hilarious look. Nonetheless, I think Matt Fitz makes so much sense this week. He's a past winner. He's a UK guy. He's having one of the best golf seasons of anyone this year. And look at this. I mean, he's playing amazing golf. And everyone knows that. 22nd, 4 with multiple wins in March, in April. Everyone sees this. Everyone's going to see his course history. It's still not loading. But he's won here. He's played really well here before. It's obvious. And where he is, he's a fine price. He is 9-9. If you want to skip the top or put him as your second man in, you still could. Matt Fitzpatrick, I think, is going to be a very chalky golfer this week. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying he's going to be chalky. So do with that information as you want. Now we're going to go with a pivot. I do not think this guy is necessarily a pivot off of Matt Fitz. I just think this guy is a pivot in his range and could be a nice lower owned guy to finish T8. And that is Patrick Cantlay. Has some nice course history. He has T4 here, I believe, in his career. And although he is unserious, he's still hitting the ball well. He is like doing everything okay. Not everything in the same week, obviously, but he's doing things well. And is he going to win this golf tournament? No. I mean, maybe now that I said no. But Patrick Cantlay, when he is around, where is he? He's around Tyrrell Hatton, who people are going to want to play. See what Cameron just said. A trendy Victor Hovland, Bob Mack in Scotland. I think Patrick Cantlay is just going to go a little bit overlooked at $8,800. Therefore, I think he's going to be a nice little pivot in the top of this 8K range. Next thing I want to touch on is the model for the week. I told you guys, fade the model last week. Oh, yeah, no, fade the model last week. I was like, we've never had a John Deere Classic model winner. We were close. We had the model number 1 was Zach Blair last week, and he had a 2-shot lead on Saturday. I was like, damn, did anyone else have model number 1 Zach Blair? That would have been some sharp stuff for me. Ended up finishing like T1 million. Doesn't even matter. And then we had Ben Coles, who was a popular pick, made so much sense, was model number like 6. I was a little bit upset, but I was like, I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm not gonna go with a model winner. I'm not gonna pick a model winner. So we went with Gutter, and he won. Now, we've had very good success with the model in terms of the Scottish Open. I think the last two of the last 3 winners have been in the top 4 in the model. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It was Goddard was 4th and Rory was 1st or 2nd. Here's the model. Rory is number 1, Scottie number 2, tied for 3rd, Rombo and Wyndham, tied for 5th, Ludwig and Goddard, tied for 7th, Xander, David Puig, and Aldrich Potgieter. I build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 models times 3, 18 models. I did driver putter, driver approach, distance putter, distance approach, distance around the green. Distance plus weighted strokes gain approach plus weighted strokes gain around the green. Distance plus weighted approach plus weighted around the greens plus putter. Some more mixed with course history. As you can see, I'm very high on driving distance. Nonetheless, Rory, Scottie, Rombo, Wyndham, Ludwig, Gotterup is the model this week. And I think we're going to get a winner based on these names right here. And finally, the one golfer that I am on for the week is a golfer by the name of Rasmus Højgaard. Everyone's going to go to his brother Nikolai if they're going in strokes gained, low Højgaard. But I'm going to go with Rasmus. These stats have been a little bit wonky. I like what he's doing around the green recently, and I love what he does just simply in terms of distance. He has that distance plus around the green profile that has gotten to the top around TPC Renaissance Club before. So I'm down for Rasmus Højgaard as the one golfer that I am on. As always, the song of the day for this week's episode is going to be Disconnected by Story of the Year. Here we go. Check it out. I think you guys will like it. Story of the Year, a classic pop punk emo band. Check it out. But that does it for us. You guys know where to find me. Any questions, as always, let's chip in. I'll catch you guys Thursday with the showdown content. Peace out.